This is part 2 of 5 of our ratio problem solving videos. These concepts are a little more challenging than the last video, but still use another way to use ratios to solve more challenging problems. The main focus of this video is using equivalent ratios to solve problems and an introduction to solving ratio problems with algebra. Have a look at this question. The ratio of bags to shoes is 3:2. The ratio of bags to coats is 6:8. Write the ratio of bags to shoes to coats in its simplest form. This may seem challenging at first, but when we apply some of the concepts we've covered in previous videos, it becomes very straightforward. We lay out our information for bags, shoes, and coats in a ratio. We write the second ratio the same way with the values at the corresponding places in the ratio. All we do now is match up the two corresponding values that are known, and applying our technique DUMA, divide up and multiply across, we can find the question mark at the bottom. 6 divided by 3, which equals to 2. Then 2 multiplied by 2, which equals to 4. We now know the missing value, and we also have our complete ratio filled out. All that is left to do is simplify the ratio. 6 to 4 to 8 all have a factor of 2. Dividing these values by 2 gives us the simplified ratio of 3:2 to 4. Looking at a slightly different question, the ratio of red marbles to blue marbles is 5:7. The ratio of blue marbles to green marbles is 2:3. Find the ratio of red to blue to green in its simplest form. What is the proportion of blue marbles? Like the previous example, we lay out our values. To find this missing value, we divide up, multiply across. So 2 divided by 7 gives us 2/7, leaving it as a fraction for now. And then 2/7 multiplied by 5, which gives us 10/7. When simplifying, we can't have any decimals or fractions in the ratio. They must all be whole numbers or integers. Therefore, to simplify, all three values must be multiplied by 7. 10/7 times by 7 equals to 10. 2 times by 7 equals to 14. And 3 times by 7 equals to 21. The final simplified ratio for red to blue to green marbles is 10 to 14 to 21. To find the proportion of the blue marbles, we find the sum of all the parts, then represent the blue as a fraction of the sum. Adding the parts together gives us 45. Since there are 14 blue marble parts, the proportion of blue marbles is 14 out of 45. 14 and 45 have no other common factors, so this is the most simplified fraction. To summarize, when finding the ratio of related ratios, lay out your information in a way that is clear. Use the divide up, multiply across technique, or DUMA, to find the missing value in the ratio. Simplify the ratio by either dividing the common factors of the values, or multiply to get rid of the denominator of fractions. Have a go at these questions. Alright, moving on to a slightly different concept. Sam and Jessica want to share some money in the ratio 3:7. Jessica gets £48 more than Sam. How much money did Sam get, and how much was shared? We have not been told what the total amount of money is, and unlike the last question, we haven't been told what any of the parts of our ratio is worth either. So what do? Well, we know that Jessica gets 48 more than Sam. If I could find out how many parts 48 is worth, then we can answer the question. Remember, as always, the key is to find out what one part is worth. If we take a closer look at the ratio, we can see that if Sam represents 3 parts and Jessica represents 7 parts, then the difference between their parts is 4 parts, as 7 subtract 3 is 4. Which means that Jessica gets 4 parts more than Sam. If Jessica gets 4 parts more, and she also gets £48 more than Sam, then this means that these 4 parts are equal to 48. We can now find out what one part is by dividing 48 by 4, which gives us £12. Great, now we know what one part is worth. The rest of the question is straightforward. From here, we can find out how much money Sam has by multiplying 3 by 12, which gives us £36. To find out how much both have in total, we use what we know about one part. Each part is £12 and there is a total of 10 parts. Multiplying £12 by 10 parts gives us the total amount shared, The total amount shared was £120. From just analysing what we know about ratio and again identifying the worth of a unit, it allowed us to solve problems like this. However, it is not always easy to see visually how to solve the question, so the use of writing algebraic expressions can help overcome these questions. To get a better understanding of how to use algebraic expressions to represent information in a question, check out our video on this in the description. Using another example, Ken and Zahura have some fruit in the ratio 5:8. Ken has 6 fruit less than Zahura. How much fruit do they have altogether? Using the previous technique, we can get to our answer visually. Ken has 3 parts less than Zahura, therefore this is equal to a decrease of 6 fruit. 6 fruit equal 3 parts, so 1 part equals 2 fruit. Now we know how many fruit in 1 part, we multiply 2 by the total parts. 5 plus 8 equals to 13, so 13 equal parts. Then we multiply 13 by how much each part is worth, which is 2. This gives us 26 fruit in total. Using algebraic expressions instead, as established, we do not know how many fruit there are, but we do know the equivalent ratio. So each part can have 3 fruit, 5 fruits, or even more. Since we do not know from the start, we'll use x to represent how much fruit is in each part. These are our first expressions, where Ken has 5 lots of x fruit and Zahura has 8 lots of x fruit. The question says, Ken has 6 fruit less than Zahura. Let's use the words to create expressions for the amount Ken has. Each of the words correspond to something that we're going to put down in our calculation. Ken, which represents 5x now, has, by hearing has, it means equals to, 6 fruit less, so subtract 6, than Zahura, which is 8x. We have now created the equation 5x equals to 8x minus 6 from the expressions. All we do now is solve the equation. Subtract 8x from both sides, then divide both sides by -3. X will therefore be equal to 2. To find the total, we know that we have 13 parts in total, where each part represents 2 fruit. Therefore, the total amount of fruit Ken and Zahura have is 13 parts times by 2 fruit, which is 26 fruit. The ability to use algebraic expressions and equations is very useful, especially as the questions get more challenging. So to summarize, always lay out your information in a way that organizes the values, either visually or algebraically. Rearrange the information you have to solve the problem. If you like this series, be sure to comment, like and subscribe to be kept updated on new in-depth videos, and most importantly, share. I mean, what's the point of knowledge if you can't share it, right? And if we can make some people not give up on maths because of these videos that we make, then our job is done. Don't see a topic you need help with? Suggest topics in the comment section. Thanks again for watching and for learning. Peace.